Hi guys, Kaze here. Welcome back. We're back with more Hakuoki with Hijikata. This should be chapter 2, sub-chapter 4, I believe, coming up. Anyway, let's get started, and I hope you guys enjoy this. This is very interesting. I'm liking it quite a lot. Anyway, let's get going. October 1866. Wow, it's been like a whole nother year again. Yeah, because we were in June 1865. It's been quiet, I guess. After the dust cleared, following the Hamaguri Rebellion, the shogun set about cleaning house. The Chonsu domain were declared enemies of the court, and the shogun gathered other domains and launched a military campaign known as the Choshu Expedition. Military expedition by the Tokugawa shogunate against the Choshu, who attacked the imperial palace and subsequently became enemies of the court after the Hamaguri Rebellion. Thank you. I never would have guessed. I thought it was like whatever. Like, that was something else. I didn't need to know. He just told me that. Whatever. It was the intention of the shogunate to completely demolish the Chonsu domain, but intervention on the part of the Satsuma and some of the other domains led to an early end for the expedition with no actual battles fought. Perhaps feeling they had dodged a bullet, the Choshu domain fell silent for a time. Their beings was short-lived, however, and before long their disrespect for the shogun became impossible to ignore. Kondo was asked to accompany an envoy sent to the Chonsu to investigate their behavior, but they refused to even meet with the envoy. Fed up with their insubordination, the shogunate ordered the second Chonsu expedition. Hey, guys, listen up. What is it, Nagakura? Is something wrong? Just going from this Nagakura to getting Nagakura is so weird. What, you run into some outlaw Ronin out there? No, it's way worse than that. I heard Lord Imamochi is dead. What? Lord Imamochi is the 14th shogun of the Tokugawa shogunate? I could feel my chest tighten. I had never seen his face in person, neither had most of the Shinsengumi. Even so, the Shinsengumi had been assigned to guard him in the past, and he was a symbol of the shogunate. Are you sure? Man, this has got to be the worst time for something like this to happen. What's going to happen to the Choshu Expedition? Have they decided on a new shogun yet? I don't know any details. There's no way you can go to war without a leader. It'd destroy morale. I know, I've got a real bad feeling about this. The Chosen got off easy. I'm hoping they'll get the pounding they deserve this time, but they're only a single domain. I tried to convince myself that a single domain couldn't cause much of a problem, but I couldn't shake that feeling of dread. Soon afterward, the shogunate led a massive army against the Chonsu, but the expense of the war weighed heavily on the coffers of the other domains, and they fielded fewer troops than the shogunate had hoped for. The death of Imochi was another blow to army morale, and some domains withdrew from the war entirely. So it was that the second Chonsu expedition ended in a shocking defeat for the shogunate army. That was the moment when the shogunate government, stable for 260 years, began to waver. That doesn't sound good. It sure has been hot lately. I swept my hand across my face, wiping away several new beads of sweat. Kyoto was a nice city, but I could have certainly done without the humid heat. Indeed. Beneath the usual calm, there was a hint of alertness and careful restrained violence, and for good reason. The Chonsu had been declared enemies of the court after the Hamaguri Rebellion and driven out of Kyoto, but some few remnants of their forces had remained behind, in hiding. Now, more than ever, Saito and the rest of the Shinsengumi had to be alert and focused when on patrol. I'll begin with the store.
中にいても手持ち無沙汰だろう。
Wait here. There's nothing for you to do inside. Alright. He gave me a short nod of confirmation and stepped into the shop with his men.
新選組だ。店を改めさせてもらう。
I'm from the Shinsengumi. I have come to inspect your store. Yes, sir. Of course. I was waiting for Saito and his division for a few minutes when I noticed a commotion nearby.
Oi, oi, oi! 道を開けやがれ! 勤王の獅子様がお通りだ!
Hey, out of the way. You've got a couple patriots coming through here. A number of rather unpleasant-looking Ronin were making their way in my general direction, yelling, threatening, and generally intimidating anyone unfortunate enough to cross their path. Patriots? Hardly. Perhaps they considered themselves loyal to the imperial court, but they looked like the sort who'd only use their supposed patriotism as an excuse to steal and kill. Those were just the sort of men who the Shinsengumi was charged with subduing. The Ronin tossed a poorly aimed kick at a child playing in the street. Stop! I barely take a step toward them when... Oh, who are you? You're kinda cute, though. Desist, you hooligans! I didn't see where she had come from, but a girl had run out to place herself between the Ronin and the child. Is this? You think you can tell us what to do, lady? Ha! Some broad wants to pick a fight with us. Patriots loyal to the Emperor. Man, obviously short fuse had been lit. He made a grab for the girl and missed. I suspected his next attack would be... The man's obviously short fuse had been lit. He made a grab for the girl and missed. I suspected his next attack wouldn't be quite so inaccurate. I couldn't let that happen. Who are you? You know this broad? Oh, we've come to her rescue. Why are all the girls around here cute? And there's me. Dratty. No, I'm not Dratty. It's just I look like a guy. For obvious reasons, but still. No, I don't. Then how's about you keep your damn nose out of my goddamn business? Flecks of spit flew from his mouth as he roared at me, and my legs suddenly felt somewhat weaker than they had a moment ago. But I was committed, and I couldn't run now. If you truly love your country as you say, then why do you abuse women and children? A samurai should protect common people, not attack them. What did you say? That's right, you tell him, son. How'd you like that, you damn Ronin? Patriot my ass, get out of my city. Something about my speech seemed to have struck a chord with the crowd that had begun to gather. With the cheers, my legs started to regain some of their usual steadiness. You son of a bitch. With a rough hiss of metal, the Ronin's sword leapt from his scarab. I suddenly discovered I had difficulty swallowing. I could try and dodge, but if I did, he might hit the girl my actions had intended to protect. No, that wasn't an option. I shut my eyes. I thought I had a sword. I can't try and use that? What the heck? Well, he got hit either way. Huh? Slowly, carefully, I opened my eyes. You needn't worry, I used the back of my sword. Oh, I love it when he's angry. Me and my thing for purple. Saito! You. Take them to headquarters. They may be with Choshu. Yes, sir. Working quickly, Saito's men set to work binding the Ronin for transport. Saito's cold eyes fell on me. That was reckless. Why didn't you call me? I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. The gentleman is right. You were dreadfully reckless. I had the situation quite well in hand. Oh, wait. Oh, your hair's actually kind of long. Your hair's long in the You have some interesting friends. Let's go with that. But cute. Wow, I thought you'd be actually a little bit more thankful, though, at least that I tried. My scolding from Saito was expected, but I hadn't thought my erstwhile damsel in distress would contribute. I'm sorry I made you worry? I gave her a short, slightly confused bow, to which she blinked as if suddenly remembering something very important.
でも私あなたに助けてもらったのよね。
Oh, but you did save me, didn't you now?
まだお礼を言ってなかったわ。ありがとう。
And I hadn't yet thanked you. Awkward of me, thank you.
あなた勇気があるのね。老子相手に立ち向かうなんて普通できないわ。
I must say, you're awfully courageous. Most people wouldn't dare confront a Ronin so. No, I didn't. I mean, Saito's men saved me. I didn't really do anything. She raised a dainty hand to her mouth in a poor attempt to stifle a giggle.
謙遜なんてしなくていいわよ。
You needn't be so modest. Too bad your arm doesn't move. I like her. At least she's not as creepy as the second self me. That one was just weird.
これも何かの縁だと思うし、女の子同士仲良くしましょうね。
I suspect that this, our meeting here, is providence. Young ladies must watch out for one another here in the city. She knows. Saito glanced from her to me and an expression flickered across his face that I couldn't quite place.
見る者が見ればわかることだ。動揺するな。
You can't expect to fool everyone. There's no need to worry about it.
あら、もしかして内緒だったの？まずかったのかしら。
Oh dear. Was it supposed to be a secret? Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned it? Well, I wasn't entirely sure how to respond. How does a person respond to that sort of question? She seemed to sense my confusion and gracefully moved on.
ところで、まだお名前を伺ってなかったわね。
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, but I don't believe I even asked your name. How terribly boorish of me.
これも何かの縁ですもの。教えてくれる？
I should very much like to be friends, but it is difficult to become acquaintance with the nameless. Might I inquire as to who you are, then? Well, this is... It always implied to introduce him first, being that he was a good deal more important than I. The girl seemed to have other ideas.
そちらの方は斉藤さんよね。新選組は有名だもの。知ってるわ。
Oh, I know who he is, Mr. Saito, yes. But Shinsengumi is frightfully famous here.
で、あなたの名前は？
And you are? My name is Chizuru Yukimura. It's nice to meet you.
よろしくね。私のことはセンって呼んで。
And it is a pleasure to meet you, Chizuru. You may call me Sen. Miss Sen? The young one who's rescued by the belligerent Ronin in Kyoto by the heroine, also known as Osen. Ha ha ha. It's like a play. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll just go Sen. Osen. Sen. Osen. Sen. Okay.
なんか水臭いな。見たところ同い年ぐらいだし、そんなにかしこまらなくていいわよ。
Goodness, you need be so uptight. You used to be about my age, so I see no reason for us not to speak as contemporaries. So just Sen then?
まあ、許容範囲かな。
Yes, I suppose.
そう呼んでくれると嬉しいな。
My bad. Yes, I suppose that will do. She grasps my hand between her own, her face open and earnest.
じゃ、また会いましょうね。
We must meet again sometime, Chizuru. She gave my hand a gentle squeeze, then turned and left, her kimono flapping behind her. I imagine flapping while she bounces as she runs. She's the cutesy type. Oh, this is cute. Okay, sorry. Our encounter was over before I had a chance to grasp what was happening, and so I simply stood, stunned, for a moment or two. I glanced up uncertainly at Saito. Is my, disguise really so easy to see through? If it wasn't, then how had Sen, whom I just met, been able to tell immediately that I was a girl? I had to admit I had felt like I was a pretty good disguise. Saito looked down at me, a strange expression on his face.
さあな。
Who knows? Okay. That makes me feel more confident, Saito. Thanks. Wait, what's that supposed to mean? His only response was a flicker of a smile. I opened my mouth to protest.
そろそろ場所を変えるぞ。これじゃいつまで経っても見回りきれない。
We should go. We've fallen behind already. We must hurry to complete our patrol on time. He spun on his heel and marched off down the street. Come, tell me. Don't leave me like this. Fine. It was clear he had given me all the answers I was going to receive, and so I hurried to catch up, albeit somewhat reputantly. I probably fucked that word up so bad. It felt like summer. Each day was hotter than the last. On this particular sweltering day, I was bringing some tea to Kondo, who was relaxing on the veranda. Isn't it October? Damn. Here's your tea, sir. Oh, thank you. He had been deep in thought, arms crossed and face stern. Things had been bad since Lord Imarochi's death. Kondo especially was having a difficult time of it. Perhaps it was best if I simply left him alone. I turned and had already begun to walk away when he spoke.
今、Sojiを松本先生に見せてるんだ。
Matsumoto is examining Soji right now. His coughing had grown more violent and more frequent lately. Perhaps... What did he say?
まだなんとも。何か重い病気でなければいいのだが。
He hasn't said anything yet. I hope it's nothing serious.
もしSojiの身に何かあったら、あの人に申し訳が立たんからな。
If something happened to Soji, I don't know how I'd be able to face her. Who's her? Her? Yes. Lines formed across his forehead and his frown deepened. Soji's mother? Girlfriend? Sister? Please explain.
今日に来る前、Sojiの姉のミツさんからくれぐれもよろしく頼むと言われていてな。
When we left for Kyoto, Mitsu, his older sister, asked me to look out for him. Oh, he does have an older sister. Oh.
ミツさんを怒らせたらどんな目に遭わされるか想像するだけで恐ろしい。
If I made her mad, I try to think what might happen to me. The very thought is terrifying. What would she do to you? That wasn't exactly the sort of thing I'd ever thought I'd hear about Kondo. It wasn't exactly the sort of thing I'd ever thought I'd hear from Kondo of all people. As the descriptions of her behavior became more and more exaggerated, I found myself laughing.
いや、笑い事ではないぞ。
Hey, this isn't a laughing matter.
あの人と口喧嘩するくらいなら、不定老師10人を相手にした方がまだマシだと思えるほどだ。
I bring the fight off to Ronin been trying to argue with her. She's quite fearsome.
確かに俺もあの人は苦手だ。
That makes two of us. Hijikata?
何事もなきゃいいんだが。もしSojiの身に何かあれば、その時はミツさんへのことづてを頼むぞ、トシ。
I hope everything will turn out alright, but if something should happen to Soji, then I would like you to be the one to tell Mitsu, Toshi.
冗談じゃねえよ。そういう表立った仕事は局長のあんたの役目だろう。
Hell, I will. What kind of crap is what we have a chief for? Chief?
そうは言われてもな。
Easy for you to say. Kondo's behavior has been strange enough, but Hijikata too? Just what sort of person was Okita's sister?
そりゃそうと、近藤さん。三条大橋に建てられてる政察のことを知ってるか？
Oh, right. Did you hear about the notice board over by Sanjo Ohashi Bridge? No, I have not. It is a bridge over the Kama River in the Sanjo Street and Kyoto. Thank you. Last stop on the Tokaido and Nashindo roads, 2 of the 5 roads under routes. I think I know what a notice board is. Thank you. The board he was talking about had been set up by the shogunate to officially and publicly declare Patrolmatsu enemies of the court.
最近、あの政察を引き抜いて鴨川に捨てたバカがいるらしい。
Some assholes pulled it out and tossed it into the Kamo.
無論その話は聞いている。だが、その政察は立て直されたんじゃなかったのか？
Yes, of course I've heard about that. Haven't they already replaced it?
そいつがまた引き抜かれちまったそうだ。そろそろ新選組にお声がかかるんじゃねえか。
They did. Same thing happened. I think they're going to ask us to keep an eye on it pretty soon.
以前札が引き抜かれたのは確か夜中だったな。
You got turned down at night, didn't it?
なら三男さんの羅刹体を使ったらどうだ？
What do you say to using Sanan's Fury Corpse then? Hijikata frowned.
羅刹体か。
The Fury Corpse.
なんだ？引っかかることでもあるのか？
You think it's a bad idea? Chikage chose his words carefully, his face grim.
あいつらは確かによく働いてくれるが、やりすぎなんだよ。
They work hard enough, but they tend to get a little excited.
どんな任務につけても、それに関わったものは全て皆殺しにしてきちまう。
Whatever we give them to do, they end up slaughtering the other side.
しかも、それだけじゃ飽きたらねえ。元の形をとどめないくらい、死体をバラバラに切り刻みやがる。
It's not enough for them, though. They go in and hack the corpse to bits. Most of the time, they're not even recognizable. Well, if you ever need a very messy assassin, there you go. Your Fury Corpse are perfect.
新選組の仕業だってバレねえようにするためとはいえ、ありゃ、いくらなんでもやりすぎだ。
Maybe they're doing it to try and hide the Sensengumi's hand, but they're going too far.
新選組は人殺し集団じゃねえ。死体で遊ぶのはやめろといくら諌めても治らねえ。
You're not just a pack of murderers. I told them to knock it off, but they won't listen. They just want to play with their corpse.
あれじゃ、辻切り連中と変わらねえよ。
They keep this up, and we're no better than those night cutters. What the heck's a night cutter? I felt a shiver shake down my spine as he spoke. Even more than a year later, I still remember with terrifying clarity what I had seen when I first arrived in Kyoto. The Furies. They behaved as possessed by evil spirits, their swords hacking away mercilessly as men already dead. It hadn't been hatred or fear that drove them, but some sort of twisted amusement. I didn't think I'd ever forget the half-mad smiles each had worn.
ま、いくつか手を考えてみるか。
I've got a few other ideas.
そうだな。細かいことはトシに任せるよ。
Good, good. I'll leave the details to you then, Toshi.
ところで、この間聞いたところによると、将軍後見職の一橋慶喜公がだな。
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay. Ah, yes. Have you heard about Lord Yoshinobu Hitotsubashi, the old guardian of the shogun? No, I'm not sure. Such created during the Bakumatsu period to assist whoever held the office of the shogun. Let's see. Born into the Mita Tokugawa clan, he was adopted in the Hitotsubashi house, one of the other three houses, to increase his chances to be shogun. He's held the position of guardian of the shogun with the 14th shogun, and later succeeded him as the 15th. I think I just gave myself a very bad spoiler, but my bad.
あの人か。家康公の再来と言われてるそうだな。確かに頭はいいのかもしれねえが。
Yeah, what about him? I've heard a couple people say he's like Yasu. Yeah, what about him? I've heard a couple people say he's like Ieyasu reborn. I don't know about that, but I do hear he's pretty sharp. Before long, we started to discuss politics I couldn't begin to understand. I politely excused myself. Oh, thank God. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I just know my time periods now. Thank you. I thought back on what Hijikata had said. It was true that Sana had been acting strange, and the Fury Corps were getting more and more violent. There was a lot in my mind, but what worries me the most was... the Furies! I mean, the Furies are important, but I'm not going near them. No way, no how. I don't even know who wants me to visit them. So I'm gonna worry about his immediate problem. Hijikata's problem. The notice board. Safer option. Just as Hijikata had predicted, a few days later, the order came down for the Shinsengumi to guard the notice board. Yep, protecting that piece of wood's gonna be fun. All divisions, not on regular patrol routes, were directed to take turns on guard duty. The first day was quiet, and most of the men on duty spent most of it simply standing around.
一晩中とてどを見張ってたから眠いったらねえぜ。
He's making me yawn. You know, it was all night guarding a damn board. Tiring work, that's for sure.
長州の連中と刃を交えるんならいざ知らず。普段の稽古じゃやる気も起きねえしな。
Now fighting off scores with chons and punks, that I can do. But carting a piece of wood is just hard to get pumped up about that, you know? Well, it's still an important job.
いや、わかってるんだけどよ。
Yeah, I know. Still.
さすがに今日こそは何か起きるかもな。今夜の当番は。サノ、お前の組だろ？
Maybe something will happen tonight. Tonight is you, right, Sano?
そうだったな。ま、タイムは果たすさ。
Sure is. I'll discharge my duty with honor and enthusiasm. Nagakura just opened his mouth to respond when I heard footsteps approaching us.
幕軍が長州藩ただ一藩に敗れたこのご時世、不良浪士を切って捨てたところで何が変わるとも思いませんが。
When I think about it, you're probably gonna be around for a really long time, and they just probably didn't animate your mouth because the way your lips look. Because be bitch to them all. The whole Shugenati army could not defeat a single domain. Do they really believe killing a few nameless Ronin for defacing a piece of wood will do them any good? The footsteps belonged to Ito, the Shinsengumi military advisor. His tight smile was a twist of irony to it.
伊藤さん、新選組の仕事に文句でもあるんすか？
You got a problem with the Shinsengumi duties?
いえいえ、立札の警護とはいえ、大切な職務ですからね。
Oh no, nothing of the sort. Even guarding a board is an important task.
ま、せいぜい頑張ってください。それでは失礼しますよ。
Well, best of luck to you, if you'll excuse me. He picked his way deliberately out of the hall, giggling to himself. As soon as his footsteps had faded out of hearing, Nagakura spat out a curse.
ったく、相変わらず嫌味な野郎だぜ。
As much as pain in the ass as usual, huh?
幕府に雇われてる身だってのに、公然とそんなのをぶってやがるし。
We get hired by the shogunate, and he goes around talking about how much better the emperor is.
仲間を集めてコソコソしてる姿もよく見かけるな。裏で何やってるか分かりやしね。
I've caught him sneaking around a couple of times, trying to recruit some of our guys into, well, something. Who knows what he's up to?
近藤さんは一体何を考えてあんなのを引っ張ってきたんだか。
I still don't get why Kondo brought him here. It wasn't just Nagakura and Harada who didn't seem to like Ito much. I heard plenty of other captains, and even some of the soldiers, talking about him less than glowing terms. There was no way Ito himself hadn't picked up on it, but he seemed to have a large concern on his reputation, and had devoted his efforts to increasing the power base within the Shinsengumi. Whatever was going on with him, I hoped it would resolve itself quickly. The Shinsengumi couldn't afford infighting.
さてと、そろそろ時間だな。行ってくるとするか。
Well, I guess it's time. I'm off. Oh,
なんだ、お前もついてくるつもりか？
what, you want to tag along?
やめとけ。お前は鬼連中から狙われてんだろ。夜の巡察には連れて行けねえよ。
Probably not a good idea, kid. Those demons are still after you, right? I can't take you out on the streets at night. It's been almost a freaking year since then, I think. No, it was a year. I don't think they need me anymore. Sitting around all day doing nothing was beginning to chafe. I wanted to help somewhere, but Harada was right. If I went with him, I'd just end up getting in the way. Well, please be careful, okay, Harada?
ああ、分かってるって。
Sure thing. Thanks. Bye. That night they struck, or at least tried to. 8 men from the Tosho domain challenged Harada and his division in an attempt to tear down the notice board. Oh, that notice board's evil. The fighting was furious, but short. Harada managed to capture some of the perpetrators, although some of those he had captured later managed to escape. Harada and his division were honored by the Aizu domain for their service to the shogunate and given a reward. What'd they get? When he was asked how the captured men had managed to escape, he simply replied, "It was too dark to get a good look," and said no more. Where the heck am I? Several days after Harada's encounter at the notice board, I was accompanying the captains to a meal at Sumi. How's Sumi? Oh, this is not awkward in the slightest. A restaurant located in Shimbara, the Kyoto red light district, where high-ranking courtesans can be hired for entertainment. This is not the courtesans of the men of Yoshiwara, that's for sure. Oh god. It's definitely not geisha. Definitely not geisha.
いやー、サノ、お前は本当によくやった。
Well, I'll be damned. You really did, Sano.
まさか、報奨金でみんなにご馳走したいなんて言ってくれるとはな。
To think you want to use that reward money to treat us all to some good food. Well.
新八さん、褒めるならそこじゃなくて、生殺を守りきったってところじゃないかな。
If you're gonna suck up, you might as well at least try and mention how he actually got that reward.
いや、そこはもちろん褒めるけどな。
I'll get to it.
それ以上に、ここの感情をサノが持ってくれるってことに感激して、涙がちょちょぎれそうで。
I just he's gonna pay the bill. I think I might cry.
みんな、今夜はサノのおごりだ。目いっぱい飲んで、日頃のうさを晴らしてくれ。
Tonight's on Sano, guys. Drink as much as you want. Forget your problems.
てめえ、人の金だと思って。
Hey, don't go nuts, alright?
サノさん、ありがとよ。今日は感情を気にせず、好きなだけ飲ませてもらうからさ。
Thanks, Sano. I'm gonna drink myself stupid. Where are you? Where'd you go?
みんながみんなお酒が飲めるわけじゃないんだけどな。
Not everyone here can drink, you know.
そう言わねえで。せっかく来たんだから、うまいものたーんと食っとけ。
There's more to do than drink, you know. Eat, for instance.
まあそうですね。どうせ払いは佐野さん持ちなんだし。
Yeah, guess you're right. Hell, Sana's paying, why not? I wasn't entirely sure Sumi was the sort of place a girl should be, but they were treating me like I was one of them, like I'd finally been accepted. It felt nice. The door at the other end of the room slid open. I have a feeling I'm going to meet one of those two girls here. Is it the look-alike me, or will it be the new girl? I forgot her name. Nope.
皆はん、お晩どすへ。ようおいでになられました。
Definitely not one of them. Yep. This is definitely a whore district. Definitely not geisha. The bow's tied in the front to make it easier to put it back on, and that is one gaudy kimono. I'm sorry, it's very gaudy. I'm so mean. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for coming. An Orion in a beautiful kimono stepped through the greeting with a smile, with someone both dazzling and demure. Oh, okay. I think we know this one. Terms of courtesans during the Edo period, specifically those in the Yoshiwara district of Edo, and high rank. The higher the rank of the Orion, the more wealthy and powerful the patron had to be. Oh, I guess there is Yoshiwara. I guess I knew Yoshiwara existed, but why is it on an island in Men of Yoshiwara? I don't know. It could just be a small Yoshiwara, mini Yoshiwara for ladies. Anyway, not gonna think that one through too much. Her skin was as white as porcelain with soft red highlights. Her lips looked soft and full. Her hair shone in the light like yards of fine silk. For a moment I stared in awe of her beauty, my own sex forgotten. Something flickered in her eyes, but it was almost gone immediately. Then she smiled, and it was like watching a flower bloom.
ダンさんたちのお相手をさせていただきます。君菊です。
I am Kimigiku, and I'll be entertaining you tonight. An Orion courtesan of the Tenjin rank, the second highest rank in the Shimabara red light district in Kyoto. But you saw Orion in Miniature or something else entirely. Huh, interesting.
どうぞ楽しんでおくんなまし。料理もすぐに参りますえ。
Please enjoy yourselves. Food will be arriving shortly. Oh yes, food's coming. Indeed it had, and once the food had arrived, the party truly began.
酒は違うな。喉がキューッとするよ、キューッと。
I'm scared. Man, expensive sake is way different. It goes down so smooth. I think you're drunk.
圭介、お前、さっきから飯も食わずに飲んでばっかじゃねえか。
Yep, he's drunk. You haven't even touched your food, Heisuke.
すきっ腹で飲むと酔いが回るのが早いぞ。
If you drink on an empty stomach, you'll get drunk before you even have a chance to enjoy it.
いや、豚書じゃこんな高い酒飲めないし、飯で腹いっぱいにしちまうのがなんかもったいなくて。
Whatever. You know how often I get booze this good? Never. Filling up on food will just be a waste of stomach space. It'll be on the ground later.
貧乏くせえセリフだな。今日は気にしないで飲んでいけよ。
You sound like a bum. Just drink up.
さすが気ずっ腹。いやいや、太っ腹。
Hey, just because you drink like there's a hole in your stomach doesn't mean the rest of us can.
楽しんでるか？全然飲んでねえじゃんか。
You having fun, Chizuru? It doesn't look like you're out drinking much. Oh, I can't drink, so I'm just enjoying the food.
お、そうだったっけ？そんじゃ、料理をたらふく食っとけよ。
Oh, right. Well, make sure you eat a lot of it then.
せっかく来たんだから、楽しんでいかねえと損だぞ。
We're here to have a good time, so it'd be a damn shame if you didn't have fun. Thanks. Still, it was the first time I'd ever eaten anything so expensive. Although, to be honest, I couldn't really taste much of a difference.
新選組の土方藩って鬼のような方と思うてましたけど、なんや役者みたいなええ男どすな。
I've heard rumors about the men of the Shinsengumi were like demons or monsters, but from where I sit, you look a good deal more handsome than that, almost like an actor.
よく言われる。
Yeah, I get that a lot. This is getting awkward. Don't you flirt with my man. Kimigiku and Hijikata were chatting easily while she poured him his sake, almost too beautiful to be real, like they had stepped out of a painting. I feel bad for saying her kimono looks gaudy, but to me it kinda does. It has purple, but it looks kinda gaudy. Made your hair come down. It's like slight trundle. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's not a gaudy kimono. No. Okay, I'm good. I didn't say the praise it, just like, yeah, it's not gaudy. I was just weird. Someone like her, any woman would feel rather plain. I was no exception, and dressing like a boy certainly wasn't helping.
にしても、立て札を守っただけでこんだけの報奨金が出るんなら。
Still can't believe they gave you all this cash just for protecting a board.
全員捕まえてたら、どれだけの大金がもらえてたんだろうな。
I mean, hell, imagine how much you would have got if you'd caught all.
なあ、佐野。どうして逃がしちまったんだ。8人くらいならなんとかできねえ数じゃねえだろう。
How'd they get away, actually? You said there were only 8. That should have been pretty manageable.
おお、俺もそれが不思議だったんだ。
Yeah, what's up with that?
敵を絶対に逃がさないよう包囲も教えてたんだろ。
I mean, you surrounded them, didn't you? How did they get away?
一旦捕まえたやつもいたらしいじゃん。本当は何があったんだよ。
And how did the guys who actually caught escape? Is it good? Harada fell silent, his face slipping into a frown. He stayed that way for a moment or two, then looked inexplicably at me. Hi, what?
お前、あの晩どこかに出かけなかったか？
Chizuru, did you go anywhere that night? What? I hesitated, unsure what he was getting at. No, I didn't go anywhere. Why?
本当にあの夜は外出してねえんだな。
You sure? You didn't go anywhere that night? Yes, I'm sure. I've never left the compound alone. Ever. Again, he fell silent, the same frown crossing his face.
おい、どうしたんだ?
Hey, what's wrong? Harada didn't look up. When he spoke, his voice was quiet.
見間違いであってくれりゃいいんだが。あの晩は月も出てなくて暗かったからな。
Maybe it was just a mistake. There wasn't a moon that night. It was dark.
だけどよ、あれだけ近くで見たんだ。絶対に間違うはずがね。
No, I saw her up close. There's no way I'd make a mistake. Harada, what are you talking about? At last he looked up straight into my eyes.
いや、実はだな。縦札を引っこ抜こうとした土佐藩士を取り囲んだとき。
After we surrounded the Tosa men who had tried to take down the notice board.
お前によく似た顔の女に邪魔されたせいで、包囲網が崩れちまったんだ。
This girl showed up. She looked just like you. Got in our way. Because of her, our whole formation fell apart. What? The whole room had gone silent. Harada barely spoke above a whisper, but every one of us could hear him perfectly. A girl who looked just like me? What did he mean? Did I totally forget about... Oh, it was about a year ago.
まあそんな時もある。とりあえず今日は佐野のおごりだ。朝まで飲もうぜ。
Well, like they say, shit happens. But tonight, Sano's pants. Let's drink till the sun comes up. I just breeze that over.
今日は限界に挑戦してやるぜ。
Second in, time to find out just how much of this stuff I can handle. Just a few minutes, Heisuke and Nagakura had the party back in full swing, but I couldn't get my mind off what Harada had said. I never left the compound on my own since the time I had first met the Shinsengumi. Then, what had he seen? I felt strange, complicated. I apparently have forgotten the girl that looked exactly like me. I can't remember her name. To be honest, I wasn't sure what to feel. I hadn't gotten in Harada's way, of course. There was no way I could have. But I felt bad. Someone who had looked just like me had made things more difficult for Shinsengumi. I didn't know who she was, but our shared appearance made me feel responsible somehow. Who was this strange girl?
さっきの佐野さんの言葉、気にしてるの?
You're worried about what Sano said? Oh, yes, I am. I was wondering how someone could look just like me.
もしかしたら、狐つきってやつかもしれないね。
You were there. You don't remember either, apparently. Maybe you got possessed.
眠っているうちに狐に操られて、自分でも気づかず、今日の街を徘徊してるとか。
Whenever you're asleep, a restless spirit takes over your body and you wander the streets of Kyoto, totally oblivious. Do you really think that's what happened? Maybe he was right. Maybe I was the culprit. I was puzzling that over my head when he burst into peals of laughter.
冗談だって。狐つきなんてあるはずないじゃないか。
Oh man, I'm just joking, kid. People don't really get possessed. But, what? You were kidding? His laughter grew louder, and I watched with flustered indignation as he wiped a tear from his eye.
ごめん。でも、ここから先は冗談じゃないよ。
Oh man, I'm sorry. Seriously, though.
さっきの佐野さんの言葉で思い出したんだけど。
Just think about what Sano said for a minute.
以前、平介君と一緒に巡察に出たとき、君とそっくりな女の子に会ったのを覚えてる?
Remember that girl we met on our patrol with Heisuke? The one who looked just like you? Oh, of course. The girl who Okita had said I bore a striking resemblance to. I'd almost forgotten about her. Her name was Kaoru. Do you think she was the one who kept Harada from capturing all the Tosa men?
断定はできないけど、君にそっくりな女の子が今日に何人もいるって考えるよりは自然なんじゃないかな。
Well, I can't say for sure, but it seems a lot more likely than there being a third girl in Kyoto who looks just like you. But she was just a normal girl. She didn't look like she was the kind of person who would try to sabotage the Shinsengumi.
人間、見た目じゃわからないもんだよ。一見優しそうな女の子でも、裏にどんな顔を持ってるかなんてわからないだろ?
Haven't you ever heard you can't judge a book by its cover? Maybe she just wanted you to think that. There's no way to know what she might have been capable of.
それに、あの札にどんな意味があるのか、今日に住んでる人が知らないはずないし。
Besides, there isn't a person in Kyoto who doesn't know what that board represents. There was no doubt in his voice. But what would you do if the girl was the same one who Harada saw?
それ、帰ってくる答えが分かってて聞いてるでしょ。
Oh, you already know the answer to that, don't you?
殺すよ。もちろん。たとえ女の子だろうと、敵は敵だし。
I'd kill her, of course. She might be a girl, but an enemy is an enemy. He was right. I had known he would choose to kill her, but to actually hear the cold finality of his words, I need to use the faculties. I just couldn't bear to stay in that room any longer. I don't think she works here, though, considering that lady gave me a weird look. I just thought. I'd be weird if I was right. The girl we had seen and the one who had interrupted Harada one and the same? If she was interfering with the Shinsengumi on purpose, does that mean that she was an imperialist? Or was she simply doing it on her own enjoyment? After all, there wasn't a person in Kyoto who didn't know the name of the Shinsengumi. She had to have known what would have happened if she had challenged them. There you are. I was wondering where you had gone off to. Something wrong? The food not your thing? No, it's wonderful. The food, I mean. It's something else. You worry about the girl Harada saw. There was no hiding my thoughts from him, it seemed. I got romance points. Don't worry about it, alright? Anybody messes with us, and I'll make sure they pay for it, one way or another. His words were as curt as always, of course, but I felt like I could sense a certain kindness beneath them. In his own way, he seemed to care about my feelings. Oh, of course, thanks. I could feel my tension beginning to dissipate. Without a word, he moved over next to me and sat down. Ooh. Oh. I could feel a warm breeze drifting in through the open window. Oh, I like this. I like his facial expression. Facial expression. Alright, now it's time for a real party to start. You ready, Sano? We wanna see it. See what? I'm scared.
これがないと佐野さんと飲んでるって感じがしないんだよな。
Now you're talking. Can't have a part of Sano's unique performance.
たく、しょうがねえな。こんだけ期待されたらやらねえわけにもいかねえか。
Well, I guess I don't have a choice then, do I? How could I say no to you guys anyway?
よく言った。そんじゃ姉ちゃん、墨と筆持ってきて。
What a guy! Can you get us a brush and some ink, ma'am? What? Their voices echoed out from the other room, drifting through the warm air. The look on Hijikata's face is one I had never seen before. Man, takes me back. The dance? What's taking you back? I'm sorry?
まだ玉で貧乏道場を切り盛りしてた頃、こうやって毎晩遅くまで飲んでたのを思い出してな。
We used to run this poor sword shop. We used to run this poor sword school back in Tama. We drink like this every night. It just reminds me of that. Tama country, known as Bushu and Mas, refers to Tama country. Tama refers to Tama country, also known as Bushu, in the Musashi province. Both Kondo and Hijikata are natives in this area. Oh. Cool.
当時も国難に備えて剣術を習いたがる奴は多かったが、うちみてえな芋剣法を教わりに来る物好きはいなくてよ。
There were a lot of men who There were a lot of men then who wanted to know how to swing a sword in case we went to war or something. Not too many of them wanted to learn from a bunch of country hicks.
金も門弟もそう多くはなかったが、それでも楽しかったもんだな。
We didn't have much in the way of money or students, but it was still fun. Oh. Ichika's face as he spoke was warm and kind, not the sort of thing I would expect from a commander whose men called him the demon.
お、どうした？ぼーっとして。
Something up? Oh, was just surprised you used to, do that.
なんだそりゃ。
What do you mean?
まさか昔から今みてえに目をつり上げて不良大使を取り締まってたんだとでも思ってたのか。
You think I'm spend my whole life just being cold-hearted bastard knocking around idiot kids in an attempt to get them into some sort of order? Just you know. I could hardly tell him that was exactly what I thought, so I sputtered and mumbled desperately. Instead of the irritated frown, I expected his tranquil, warm expression to remain, and he went on, almost as if I had said nothing.
俺もたまに思うよ。
I still think about it every so often.
薬箱抱えて行商してた俺が刀を刺して幕府に仕えてるなんて。
Wasn't so long ago I was just a street merchant selling my family's medicine. Now I wear swords and work for the shogun.
もしかしたら長くて幸せな夢をずっと見続けてるんじゃねえかってな。
Sometimes I wonder if this is just a long dream, and eventually I'm going to have to wake up. By the time he finished, he seemed to have been speaking more to himself than to me. The moon had risen outside of our window, and as he looked up, its light washed over his face, the cool glow playing across his handsome features. Just like Kimagiku had said, he was as good-looking as an actor. After her, though, a girl like myself had to seem awfully plain, especially next to a man as beautiful as he.
佐野、もうやめてくれ。笑いすぎて息ができねえ。
Alright then. I can't take it. Son, I'm laughing so hard I can't breathe.
バカ野郎、てめえがやってくれって頼んどいて途中でやめろってのはどういう了見だよ。
Come on, you're the idiot who got me up here in the first place. Now you want me to stop right in the middle of it?
佐野さん、最高。もう一回。
I want to know what's happening. You're the greatest, Sano. One more time. What the heck's happening in there? The party lasted until morning. There was the Fury corpse to worry about, and now a girl who looked just like me. It was a lot to think about, but it was hard to feel down when everyone around me was having such a great time. It was New Year's End, and I was outside in the cold weather, sweeping the compound. Whew, well, that should do it. I wanted to help out as much as I could, but since they still refused to let me go out without an escort, there wasn't a great deal I could do. Still, I had helped make our home clean, and that felt good. Hopefully they'd like it too.
境内の掃除が随分精が出るな。
Cleaning, I see. You're certainly hard at work. Oh, hello, Kondo. It's really gotten cold lately, hasn't it?
今日に来てから随分経つが、この寒さにはどうもなれんな。
It has. Yes, it has indeed. I've been in Kyoto a while now, but I still can't get used to the weather. He rubbed his hands together and blew on them in a most vain attempt to warm them up. I've picked up a bunch of dead leaves, so I was thinking about roasting potatoes later. Would you like some? They'll warm you up. Kondo gave me a little wiry smile.
焼き芋か。昔はよくやったもんだが。
Roasted potatoes, huh? I used to enjoy that a long time ago. Oh, I flushed with embarrassment. Kondo was a busy man. Management of the Shinsengumi was not easy. A man like that didn't have time for roasting potatoes. You've been really busy lately. I hope you're taking care of yourself.
まあ、こういう時代だからな。
Oh, right.
忙しいってことは、それだけ新選組が頼りにされてるってことだ。名誉なことさ。
Well, if I'm busy, then that means that the Shinsengumi is needed. It's an honor. True. In the last several weeks, Kondo and Hijikata had left the temple often to go meet with the important shogunate officials. They probably scarcely had time to breathe, let alone relax. In that moment, almost as if my thoughts had summoned him, Hijikata appeared.
お、近藤さん、こんなところにいたのか。
There you are, Kondo.
おお、トシ、どこに行ってたんだ。探したぞ。
Oh, Toshi, where were you? I was looking for you.
次の将軍がだな。家持将軍の後見人だった一橋慶喜公に決まったようだ。
They chose the next shogun. It's going to be Lord Yoshinobu Hitotsubashi. Hijikata's brow furrowed at what I couldn't have hesitated to describe as a glower.
あの人か。ま、噂通りの人物ならいいんだがな。
Him, huh? Well, let's hope he lives up to the rumors.
お前はどうしてそう素直に受け取れないかね。
Does he find a dark side to everything? Who's Lord Hitotsubashi? I had a vague memory that he was the commander of the shogunate forces during the Battle of Hamaguri Gate, but Konto gave me a quick explanation of the rest.
あの方は家康公の再来って呼ばれてるほど英明な方らしい。
They say he's very intelligent, some even going so far as to call him the second coming of Lord Ieyasu. He glanced over at Hijikata, perhaps looking for corroboration. He found none.
頭の回転も速く、天使様の信頼も厚い。言うことねえじゃねえか。
At any rate, he has a quick mind, and the Emperor trusts him. How can he be a poor choice? There was a certain pride in Kondo's voice, almost as if he were talking about a friend or a brother. If what he said was true, though, then perhaps this shogun would be able to unite the shogunate and the imperial court and overcome the crisis that was destroying our nation.
頭がいいってのは認めるがね。
Alright, he's smart. I'll give him that.
まだなんか引っかかるのか？
Then what's the problem?
まあいい。将軍が誰になろうが、俺たちはその将軍の下で戦うだけだ。
Forget it. Doesn't really matter who the shogun is to us anyway. We're just here to fight for him.
そうだな。俺たちが頑張れば、それだけ将軍様も徳川幕府も安泰ってわけだ。
That's right. If we do our best, that means the shogun and the shogunate are safe and secure. He kept his tone carefully light, perhaps in an attempt to sway Hijikata, but to no avail. Only 20 days after Lord Yoshinobu had been officially inaugurated as the new shogunate, the emperor passed away. It was especially hard when the emperor's younger sister, Kazunomiya, who had been married to Lord Imorachi and was intended to be the symbol of the imperial unification, but everyone on both sides was shocked by his death. A political movement that sought to unify the upper echelons, shogunal and imperial classes. Imorachi Tokugawa married his sister, the emperor, as part of this movement. Oh, that's kind of awkward. He was succeeded by the imperial prince, a young boy of only 15 years. In the turmoil, the activities of Choshu domain went uninvestigated. The entire country of Japan found itself thrust into rapid motion. And I think that ends that chapter. Yes, we're on chapter 3 now. I have a trophy, new friends. Cool. Alright, anyway, guys. Dear God, time has passed a lot. Okay, gotta focus here. Focus. Alright. That ends that chapter. We're plowing on through. They're really long chapters, I'm sorry for that, but we're plowing on through, trying to get through this. Because we have a lot of guys today, and they're long chapters. Insanely long. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys, make sure to give the video a like, leave some comments down below if you have questions, thoughts, concerns, whatever. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Kaze out. Bye, guys.